Hello, hello, hello. Let's talk about the round three games and let's talk about my beloved Catters taking on the undermanned Adelaide Crows. Now, it was a wet, slippery game of football, and I tell you, it was very cold, sitting pretty much in the rain in a way. I think we were just undercover, but at the same time, the rain just kept pouring. That was a bit annoying. I'm going to be honest, Cats dominated the whole game. They just could not hit the scoreboard at all. They kicked few goals, however, it was just skill after skill after skill error from both teams, and it was so annoying. It was dry weather. I reckon the Cats would have won by at least 40 points. I don't know how to explain it really. They were just so frustrating to watch a little bit, and yeah, the Cats dominated every stat apart from the hitouts. Lachlan McAndrews dominated that. He is 211 centimetres and Mitch Edwards is 206. So there's a 5 centimetre gap between them. Tom Atkins is Tom Atkins. Now that soccer out of bounds by him, that should have been called. I don't know what the boundary umpire was thinking. Don't know what the field umpire was thinking. That should have been, I guess they need to have like a boundary review for that. They do, but they couldn't intervene. So I'm not sure what the go is about that. They probably should have said no. Bring it back. It's a free kick to Adelaide, opposite way. So, I mean, I even said, "Oh, Tommy, what have you done?" As he socketed it out of bounds. I knew, I could see it from about probably 100 metres. So that was a bit annoying. But, I mean, Jack Martin kicked the goal out of it. Jack Martin kicked 3 goals and he was probably one of our best on ground. Sam De Koning was definitely one of our best. I'm a big fan of Bailey Smith. However, he had 40 disposals, 10 tackles, 6 clearances, and he was very poor kicking with 56% disposal efficiency. Yeah, that was not ideal. He just kept butchering the ball. Kicked it on the full a few times as well. So also kicked down into space. Now, I'm not exactly sure how disposal efficiency works because sometimes when you have a clanger, it doesn't exactly go to potentially that player that's kicked it. It could go to like a guy who's potentially fumbled it. Yeah, so I don't understand that. Now, Sean Manor kicked a goal and he also had 24 disposals and he had 6 shots on goal. So he was very inaccurate. He could have kicked 6, but he was definitely one of our best players, and I still can't believe he was selected in the mid-30s. He had 6 goals on grand final day in the VFL in 2023, and he was still picked up in the low 30s. That's just unbelievable. Ollie Henry, I thought he competed very well. Ollie Wiltshire, I thought competed well. He had 3 shots on goal, and unfortunately couldn't convert any of them. Mitch Edwards was benched for the entire last quarter. It was a bold move and put Blitzarves in the ruck. However, I don't mind it, but at the same time, he needs to get his experience up in those close games as well as those conditions, because who knows what's going to happen in September if we make it that far, that is. But I'm glad we got the 4 points, but he needs to play in those situations to get his confidence up as well. Max Holmes being Max Holmes, he had 27 disposals. He also had about a 60% disposal efficiency, 55% I'm pretty sure it was. Jai Clark's last quarter was so elite. Number 1 ranked on the ground as per Fox Footy said. Also, he's just growing in confidence, which I love to see. Ushan Mullen tag on Isaac Rankin was very important, and he played a great last quarter. Isaac Rankin's just coming back from that suspension, so he'll take his time coming back. Josh Rochelle, I thought, was very handy for the Adelaide Crows. He had 31 disposal, 31 and 71% in the midfield. So he's going to be a very handy player. That is for sure. Now, the Crows had no Jordan Dawson, Taylor Walker, Markeen. I mean, he's been out the whole time this season so far. But also Rory Ladd. So they're missing quite a few important players, and they'll be getting Jordan Dawson and Taylor Walker back for the Adelaide v Fremantle Dockers clash. Now, the Cats do take on the Easter Monday Hawks, so I'm looking forward to that. Going to that game for the first time this decade. I am so excited. I'm pumped for that. Sam DeConing, again, 12 marks, 6 of those were intercepts, and he had like more than 7. No, he had more than 6 spoils in that game, especially in the wet, and that's very, very important. Josh Worrell was solid with 30 disposals, and Zach Taylor competed very well with 3 goals, 100% disposal efficiency with 7 disposals, and 6 score involvements. Okay, so the Adelaide Crows will be fine. There's no need to panic whatsoever. They've got some stars coming back, and I expect a big win this week. Probably not a big win, but a big statement. Collingwood versus GWS, I went to this game. If you haven't seen the matchday vlog for any of these games, I suggest please watch them. And I'm also going to upload the St Kilda Brisbane vlog at some stage this week. Probably tonight at some stage. So I went to the Collingwood GWS game, and you can tell who was going to win this game from really the get-go. The Magpies kicked the first 2 goals and 5 goals in the first quarter. How good is Nick Dacos? He had 2 goals, 2 behinds, 36 disposals. I mean, if I did say if he did get 30 or 40 disposals or more, Pies would win. I was 4 disposals off, so not too bad of a prediction. I probably should have said if he has 30 or more, because he's a very, very impactful. However, he wasn't. I don't know. He wasn't great with his disposal efficiency. He had a very, very poor 55%. But, I mean, he still made a massive impact in the game. Tim Membry was on fire with 7 marks, 4 goals, and 8 score involvements. He was huge. Clary Oliver had plenty of the ball with 37 disposals, but he was horrendous with 45 disposal efficiency, 45.5. That is horrendous. Now, Magpies were relentless, that is for sure, but 45% with the ball, he just didn't look after the ball too well. Oscar Steen had a very, very good game against the Giants. He had 20 hitouts, 2 marks, kicked a goal, which was awesome to see. 3 score involvements and 8 disposals. I thought he competed very well, and he deserves his spot against the Lions this week. Now, Lockie Whitfield had 39 disposals with a whopping 80% disposal efficiency. GWS had 62 more disposals, 425 to 363, 8 more inside 50s, plus 20 marks, plus 2 clearances. However, their inside 50s kicking was just horrendous. They just kept kicking the ball just either way too high, or a Collingwood player either intercepted it or just cut it off with the spoil. So they were just, it's just horrendous. Lockie Schultz was very solid, 24 pressure acts, kicked a goal and 6 tackles. I was very impressed with Ned Long's game, 29 pressure acts, 10 tackles, 11 disposals, with a goal and 4 score involvements. I really liked his game. Now, the Giants are missing some very big outs. Hear this. Sam Taylor, Tom Green, Darcy Jones, who's obviously done an ACL, so he'll be out for a little while. You've also got Brent Daniels, Jack Buckley, who injured himself last week. Also, Josh Kelly and Toby Bedford. Wowee. 8 of the best 23. It's not very good, but I'm sure they'll be fine after round 12, and they'll bring back some of their big guns. And Tom Green could play potentially in August if they make finals. So that'll be interesting to see how it goes. Scott Pendlebury has Achilles soreness, so he'll miss the Brisbane trip. If he doesn't miss any more games, he'll break the record against my beloved Catters. And it is the Cats' home game. So do you expect all the general admission will be sold out, and they'll have to buy tickets to the game and to get a reserve seat? So now the Pies have the Lions at the Gabba, and GWS have a mighty bye, hopefully a well-rested bye for them. Get a few players back and go guns blazing. Let's go to the St Kilda versus Brisbane Lions game. Now, I went to this game and oh boy, these teams could not kick or even hit a target for that point. It's just, the first quarter was just horrendous. There was legit 11 consecutive behinds before Liam Ryan decided, there's the middle goals. I should probably kick through them. And he did at the 26th minute mark of the first. And it was such a relief to see a goal in that quarter. And that was the only goal in that quarter as well. Naz got the first clearance, and within the first 11 seconds, he kicked it from 50, and he missed far left. So annoying. And it was exciting to watch Naz play. Did do a couple of silly things. Did give away a free kick. Actually, no, that was not. That would have been Cooper Sharman, I believe. That would have been who gave away that free kick. But I'm surprised Naz didn't get a fine at all after that punch. But I mean, he was just retaliating. And what's his name? Jared Berry started it. Jared Berry was great with 31 disposals, 6 intercept possessions, 7 score involvements, 10 marks, and a goal. And he pissed off an angry Nazia Wanganeen Miller. And they didn't break the tag at all. They didn't put any pressure on Jared Berry or the Brisbane Lions. And it was just, efficiency inside was 61.5% the Lions' way to the Saints a whopping 46.4%. The Lions dominated the midfield after half-time, and they had plus 14 clearances for the game. The Saints won the hitouts 44 to 24 hitouts. So they won plus 20. Now, the Lions had 63 more disposals. Cooper Sharman and Liam Ryan kicked 3 goals each for St Kilda. You also had 6 Brisbane players who kicked 2 goals each, which was pretty much a difference. Welcome to the category next season. He's playing out of position, and I mean, you can't really, he's not been fairly treated, in my opinion. He's had a couple of cracks at goal and hasn't been too crash hot, and he looked uninterested in a way. But I mean, that's probably a couple of times when they got a couple of goals scored on them. Now, unfortunately, Noah Ainsworth came off second best to probably the best mark we might see this season. Alex Taru, what a great mark. But unfortunately, he got Noah Ainsworth in the back of the head. And I know all about that. Concussions are not fun. So he'll be in a 12-day concussion protocol. Now, I hope this does not affect him whatsoever. And we need to have a serious conversation about players with concussion. Now, I'm not saying, these things do happen. Now, I'm not saying get rid of the mark and jumping on the back. I'm not saying that whatsoever. I'm just saying we need to think more about the players' safety, and if they have 3 concussions or more, they need to quit AFL or football altogether. I don't care what league you're in. If you have 3 concussions playing football, you need to sit down and give football a miss for a couple of seasons. Yeah, so Darcy Gardner also went back this week and injured his shoulder, so he'll miss, I'd say, weeks. Now, I'm no doctor, but ouch, that dislocation shoulder, not fun. Quick statement, how is Dougal Howard an AFL footballer? How? He made so many errors on the weekend, and it was just, I just don't know how St Kilda see in him, or I don't know what they see in him. Just annoying. The Lions have the Pies at the Gabba at home, and the Saints have a bye, so it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. Now, the Fremantle versus Richmond Tigers game was very competitive for a half a game. Like, the Fremantle were legit up by 1 goal. And Richmond, they have this habit of being in the game and just falling out in the second half. it's just so annoying. But I mean, at the same time, they're a young, inexperienced team. They were missing Tom Lynch, Toby Nankervis, so you expect these type of things happen. And I mean, they're going to be okay, Richmond, this year. They might scare a few teams and get close. They might win and surprise a few teams this year as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how they go this week against Port Adelaide. Can they cause an upset? Who knows? Now, the Dockers and the Tigers missed some easy set shots. And it was just, yeah, not ideal, some of those set shots, but it was wet. So, fair enough. Andy Brayshaw, Caleb Sarong did miss some easy set shots as well. So, they'll put a bit of pressure on the Dockers. Luke Jackson goal was almost a certainty. A great play by Isaiah Dudley for that flick handball. And Luke Jackson just missed. Yeah, so I really liked Shai Bolton's game. He had 33 disposals, if I am not mistaken. Shai Bolton had 33 disposals. Caleb Sarong had 32 disposals as well. Now, the Tigers did give up a whopping 26 intercept marks the week before. So at halftime, they only gave up one intercept mark. That is some crazy statistics. Now, unfortunately, I didn't see how many more marks that they did give up, but I did watch the replay. And yeah, Dion Pressia had a decent game as well. I thought, is it Luke Trainer? I'm pretty sure it's Luke Trainer. I thought he played some solid game time, did some great things. Stewie Green kicked 3 goals, and the only 3 goals, Morris Rioli Jr., who I've never seen him get tackled 5 times and get caught holding the ball. I've never seen that before. And he did, but he's an excitement machine and he will bounce back this week against Port Adelaide. And now the Dockers have the Crows in Adelaide Oval, so that's going to be an interesting game. Now, let's go through the game I went to and probably regret. We have the Essendon Bombers taking on North Melbourne. I'm just going to take this short and simple, really. This game was just terrible from start to finish. Just the turnovers, man. Just the simple 15, 20-metre kicks were just horrendous. The 5-metre handballs were just horrendous. And my head was just so sore from watching this game. Now, North kicked 3 behinds in the last quarter. And the Bombers almost came back and kicked 4 goals, 3 behinds in that last quarter. I left at 3-quarter time because I had enough. And so did a lot of Essendon fans. But they almost saw a comeback for the ages. At halftime, the scores were 7-44 to 4 goals, 8-32. Now, North were quite were actually accurate, and Essendon were very inaccurate in front of goal. And just some of those silly mistakes that they made were just, I don't know, just horrendous. But they also didn't show exactly enough heart, enough fight. And I was a bit disappointed with their performance. Because I thought, before the game, just start pushing, bumping, getting into North Melbourne. I thought that, they would be doing that and show their supporters some fight. They did in that last quarter, but that's just not enough. Too little, too late, in my opinion. Look at this. The disposal efficiency. There is no way that North had 80% disposal efficiency. No way. And Essendon had 75.3 disposal efficiency. There is no way. And the turnovers apparently was 57 Essendon to 67 North Melbourne. I think they would have just given up by now with the turnovers and disposal efficiency, because I do not believe that stat in one bit. Zane Dersma had 3 goals. North Melbourne smashed Essendon with a whopping 77 more disposals. Larky, Trembath, and Peter Wright were the only multiple goal kickers. You've also got McKercher, Sheasel, Parker, and LDU, who had 31 or more disposals. Tristan Zeri kicked a goal, had 8 clearances, but did something very, very dumb. Oh, man. Allegedly. He wiped blood on Essendon skipper Andy McGrath's face. Just, why? Why? Keep your hands to yourself. I know you're grab a jumper, do something. like push, shove, but just don't put your own blood on Andy McGrath or just any player at all. Just allegedly, I'll say that. But it's just disgusting behaviour, and he got banned for 3 matches, which was good. And North have Carlton, and that's going to be an intriguing game to watch. Will Carlton bounce back, or will North Melbourne somehow just keep winning? That's going to be interesting to see how it goes. And the Bombers have the Bulldogs. Only going to get worse. Like, it's only going to get worse. Okay, we got Port Adelaide versus the West Coast Eagles. Port started off very, very well within the first minutes and kick a goal from Jack Lukosius in the goal square. Jimby was a bit slow there and just mistimed him, the jump. You've also got Port poled on 35 points to 7 before Eagles kicked another goal. So it was a 22-point lead at quarter time, and you thought this is going to be an absolute snoo fest. Wow, you are wrong. The Eagles came back from a dangerous deficit and defeated the Port Adelaide Power at Adelaide Oval by a whopping 2 points. So that means I have to go to Optus Stadium to watch an Eagles game, and that might be Eagles Collingwood, Eagles Hawthorn, the last round. We shall see. But that'll probably be sold out, those two. But we'll see. We'll have a crack and have a look. But depending on the fixture and when the Catters are playing in my own life fixture. Jake Waterman had an outrageous goal from legit 60 to 65 metres. That was insane. And he also kicked 4 goals with 10 score involvements. You've also had Power having kicked 36 points compared to the Eagles' 46 points in that last half, which the Eagles ran over the top of. A couple of dodgy decisions, but I mean, there's been dodgy decisions every single game, so I'm not going to use that as excuse for Port. Really, Port should have won that game. It's just ridiculous how they didn't. Zach Butters had 30 disposals, 11 score involvements. Kane Farrell had 25 disposals for Port Adelaide. Tim Kelly had 23 disposals, and Harley Reid had 21 touches. Now, Devin Robertson has been suspended for his 1-match ban on a dangerous tackle on Zach Butters. Now, he did sling him and use the sling motion, so fair enough. I mean, if we're going to take this seriously, dangerous tackles, it needs to be at least probably, I'd say, maximum of or minimum of 3 weeks and maximum of 5 weeks. If we're going to do anything about concussions or legit anything about player welfare, we shall see what the AFL are going to say, but let's be real, they're not going to say anything. Now let's go through the Carlton versus Melbourne Demons game, and I'm not even a Carlton fan, but I was pissed off. How do you choke up a 37-point lead at quarter time and give up a 46-point lead? 43, I should say. That's just, it's unforgivable. Yes, Carlton got a few injuries and they're rebuilding and they're missing quite a few players after trading them out. It's just so frustrating, this team. Like, I'm glad I'm not a Carlton supporter, but I was born in Carlton, so I could have been a Carlton fan, but it's just, they looked very, very slow and just didn't really want to chase whatsoever. And it was happening in the opposite direction. Melbourne wanted to chase. They wanted to do all the right things. They wanted to apply pressure in that second half. Now, in the first half, they legit played some lazy football and it looked very, very slow and uninterested and just turning the ball over with ease. Max Gawn is probably one of the greatest ruckmen of all time. Him and Dean Cox. You've also got a few players from the VFL as well, the olden days. So they'd be up there as well. Yeah, the Melbourne Demons legit kicked 14 goals to Carlton, and it was just, oh my goodness. They just wanted to play exciting football, and yeah, they just looked very unstoppable. Cozzy Pickett had legit 33 disposals, kicked a goal. He was very much electric. And that is it for this week's podcast or match review. I'm looking forward to doing more of these. Now, I'm a bit disappointed with the views, but I do understand. Now, comment below your opinions on this style. Do I keep this? Do I potentially upgrade this a little bit more? Or do I talk about more stats and or even give my opinion? So comment below that. Subscribe to the channel and thanks so much for watching. Peace.